there, what's going on? Kate McShay here, coming to you from my home in Vancouver, Washington. I hope you're doing well. Now, all I wanted to do today is I wanted to give you 2 tips on ways to increase your productivity and your mindset for treating your home business like a profession. Because what I continue to hear from people is that one thing that they struggle with the most is consistency, routine, and trying to figure out ways to treat it like a professional business. So here are my 2 tips that I'm going to give to you today that have really helped me with regards to the mindset of treating this home business as a profession, as well as actually getting things done daily because of these 2 tips that I'm going to give you. Those 2 tips that I put in place have skyrocketed my productivity that I'm able to do to focus on my business. So tip number 1 is making sure that you actually set business hours for yourself in order to focus on your business every single day. And if you want to take a day off, that's totally cool, but you should be focusing at some point, depending upon however many hours you have available. If it's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus, you need to set out and map out on either a Sunday or a Monday, every single day, business hours, time that you are going to focus on your business. If you need to set a timer during those times, that's totally fine, and you can do that, but your job during those times is you need to treat it like a true business. Like your business is open and you need to be there and you need to be taking action, calling people, and working on it. Okay? So having business hours makes it feel more professional. It makes it feel like something that you actually need to go to and you need to perform at. The other tip I'm going to give you is actually have calling hours, because something that you'll start to find is that when you start calling enough people and you start creating enough follow-ups and you start generating leads and you're going to start talking to people daily, you need to have calling hours, and it makes it more professional from your prospect's eyes as well. So if you're trying to schedule a follow-up with them, you can say, well, my calling hours, the hours where I make phone calls, are between 9 and 11 in the morning, 3 to 5 in the afternoon, and 7 to 9 at night. Now, you don't have to have that many calling hours, but that's just an example for you, because what that does for you is, number 1, it again makes you treat it like a profession. And number 2, what it does for your prospect is they see that you're taking this seriously and that you're busy, right? So you don't have all the time in the world to talk to them throughout that next day or whenever you set up your follow-up. You have specific times to talk to people because you are technically busy throughout all of those other times. It doesn't matter what you're doing, if you've got your full-time job or whatever you're doing, or you're working, you're taking your kids to their next soccer practice. They don't need to know that, but what they know from you saying, well, I call people and I schedule follow-ups between this time, and this time, what time works for you, it just makes it much more professional, and it shows that you're busy, that you're hustling, and that you're working, and they're going to have to fit into your schedule, that you're not going to chase them. Okay? So those 2 tips, creating business hours for yourself consistently every day, even if it's just a small window of time, but creating that, and then everything else gets shut off. You shut off your TV, you shut off any other distractions, and you focus just on your business, as well as having calling hours. So that includes calling hours for you when you actually call people, as well as calling hours for when people can either call you back or you schedule a follow-up. You need to have windows of time that you actually schedule calls. It will make it much more professional for you, and will make it much more realistic that it's not a job, but this is a profession, right? It is a part-time business or a full-time business, dependent upon how much time and effort you put into it. And so you have to treat it that way. So I hope that this gave you some value. If you want to ask any questions or throw out any comments, feel free to do that below, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching it there, or leave us a comment on our blog if you're watching it there, or like our fan page if you're watching this video there. And I would just love to connect with you at any point in time if you have any questions. So feel free to reach out to me, and I will make sure that I get back to you as soon as possible. So again, this is Kate McShay. Hope that those 2 tips gave you a little bit of value, and I hope that you come back and visit our channel again soon. Take care.